Well, let's start with the Browns free agency right around the corner. Aaron Rodgers looks like he may be getting traded to the Jets. This seems fairly imminent. By the way, for the record, the guys who are franchise tagged non-exclusively, like Lamar, they cannot start negotiating until Wednesday. So there's going to be while Monday starts the tampering period, and you're going to hear about guys getting signed.
Yeah.
None of those guys can be. Obviously we know what's happening behind the scenes, but none of those guys can be. It's not going to become public on those guys until Wednesday. All right, Mike. So you've got a list of allegedly the Browns have 20 free agents.
23 to be exact.
I don't know how they have 23 free agents. It feels like nobody important on the Browns is a free agent.
It is a list of a lot of names.
Of about a bunch of scrubs, basically.
Yes.
So we're going to go through these, and we're going to do either guys' happy face or sad face as to whether we want to keep these guys or. What if we've never heard of the player you mentioned?
Automatic sad face.
Automatic. I mean, hey, if you want to take a flyer on a no-name guy, you're more than welcome.
Okay.
That's your right, Bull. But what we're going to do is going to run through. I broke this into 4 graphics, 5 on each. So if we all agree, we'll spend 10 seconds. If we disagree, we go back and forth on why you'd want to keep or why you'd want to let him go.
No more sex talk?
I mean, you can bring it up
We're
with
done
some
with
of these
religion.
guys. But I'm leaving that to you, Bull. You're the host today.
I love God.
We could talk about the election. I mean,
I want to get into the election.
might as well. It's the only thing we haven't touched yet.
Want to talk about
All right, are you
Tucker
guys
Carlson, January 6th tape? Should we talk about that? All right, let's go. Let's not do anything.
Let's take the first. This is the first crop of 5 free agents. We'll go down from top to bottom. Deion Jones, bring him back, let him go.
Wait a minute. What's what?
Happy's bring him back, sad's let
Sad's
him go.
let him go. Okay. Sorry, I have ADD.
What if you want to bring him back because everybody else at the position sucks, but you think he sucks anyway? That would still be
That's a
sad,
tough
but
decision to make.
Okay.
And look, G's bringing him back, so we already disagree on the first
You're
one. G,
bringing
why
back
would you bring
Deion
Deion Jones back?
They paid stuff for him.
Hardly anything.
They paid something. I want him more than Phillips.
Deion Jones is like my size.
Here's my rule, G.
I'm taking Phillips. I'll take him over Phillips.
Here's the rule, and you guys should follow this rule as well. If a guy looks slower than me on the field, you can't bring him back.
I mean, he's not that slow. He's
look
not
pretty
that slow.
slow.
I'm going to bring him back. Listen, Deion Jones, is he that good? No.
You've been screaming all offseason. They got to upgrade linebacker.
But
Now you want to bring back Deion
I'm
Jones.
about to get 3 more linebackers, too. That's like saying you only got 1 candy bar, G. Bush. You only want 1? No, I'm 4. 4 candy bars.
I am in favor of 4 candy
Goodbye,
bars.
Deion Jones.
All
Goodbye.
right. We're
Reggie
bye.
Ragland is who you were thinking of, who was slower than you.
Yes.
That's Reggie
Not Deion
Ragland.
And
Jones.
I'm keeping him, too.
All right, go ahead. Next guy.
The Browns are going to be a team full of linebackers if G's GM. Jadeveon Clowney. Keep
Yeah,
it,
I
let
think
him
we're
go.
all in agreement on that one.
Yeah, goodbye.
Nobody wants him back.
No.
Bye-bye, Jadeveon. How about tight end extraordinaire, Pharaoh Brown?
See ya.
Can I sell you guys on Chris Odom?
I don't even know who
I
that
have
is.
no idea who
Is
Chris
that
Odom
Lamar's brother?
Yeah, like that's his cousin.
Who is Chris Odom?
A defensive lineman.
Bye.
There was a Chris Odom on the Browns.
Apparently so.
Do you know what's sad? If you're a defensive lineman on the Browns and couldn't see the field this year,
Yeah.
it's
Like,
going to be
how
tough to
bad do
crack
you
the
suck?
NFL
All right,
roster.
let's get rid of him. Unless he's a good pizza maker, he's out.
And last but not least on the first list, Chris Hubbard.
Chris Hubbard been here taking up space for 3
He
years.
stinks.
And he's not good. He
You know
wasn't
what,
good
though?
when he
He's
got
such a
here.
nice guy.
This is hard. I don't mind Chris Hubbard, but I think that they could. I'd rather than bring back Michael Dunn.
I would
Yeah,
too.
move on. He's a really nice guy, Chris Hubbard.
He's an
I had him in
offensive lineman.
studio once on radio, and he was really nice. He brought his wife. She was really nice.
Yeah, I
feel
enjoyed
bad.
talking to him.
He's
And
a
he
good
can
guy.
play multiple positions. Like,
Yeah,
there's
but
value there.
It's time to move on. He's been hurt. He's barely played.
He can run for Congress then. Do
Let
something.
him run for Congress.
Yeah,
No, he
there
doesn't
you
have a
go.
big scandal yet. He's got to get arrested first. Then he can run for Congress.
Well, and he's got to lie about everything in his life.
Yes, everything. Tell
go
us he
ahead.
played halfback.
Yeah.
Okay, list number 2. These are some bigger names here. How about Jacoby Brissett? Keep or let go?
I'm going to say no. I'm letting him go.
Are we being realistic here, or are we being fantasy world? Like, are we taking contracts into account of what it would actually take to
Yeah,
keep?
but listen, someone has to
Yes, I'm factoring
go on
in
the side of
contracts.
Brissett, though. Someone has to make the case to bring Brissett back.
Oh, there's an easy case to
What
make
you
to bring him
mean?
back.
I'm just saying don't bring him back because I think he's going to be too expensive for a backup quarterback.
Yeah, I'll say bring him back because I think he's an ideal backup.
He
Yep.
is.
Zach Jackson made the case that they need a quarterback sneaker, like he's their sneaker, that Deshaun is terrible on quarterback sneaks, and they're going to need somebody else to fill that role. So I can absolutely make the case of wanting to bring him back. I
Wait,
just
is
agree with-
Deshaun Watson statistically actually not good on sneaks?
That's what Zach said. Zach said that they literally need a sneak quarterback.
That's absurd.
I tend to agree with you,
on.
but Zach knows usually he's not wrong
I
like
hear
that.
you, but like, figure it out. I mean, it shouldn't be that complicated to sneak.
but I would love to have Jacoby back. I just don't think that
Heck
it's
yeah, I would like to
feasible.
have Brissett back. Like, I mean, obviously he's a very good fit. The guys trust him. The guys love him. Stefanski knows how to call plays for him in case Deshaun Watson goes down. He played better than we thought. He was, he's really durable. I like Jacoby Brissett.
Everybody likes Jacoby.
I like what he brings to the table.
Plus, I think he was very helpful for Deshaun last year.
we gave
In a perfect, if he could sign for $3 million, he's going to make more money than the
Yes.
Browns can afford to pay him.
Yes.
That's the
probably.
problem.
But I like him.
Everybody would want
I
Jacoby
mean, Case
back.
Keenum made $6.5
That's
million
cool. That's
when
right.
he
That's
came here.
crazy.
If money were not an issue, I don't think there's a person in Cleveland that would not want Jacoby Brissett
But
back.
you got to put a face
So
on
I'll
it.
give the happy face because I want him back, but it's not realistic because he's getting too much money. So that means we got to let him go. So I'll give you the angry face for that.
Okay. Next up, our man, the second leading sack artist on the team this year, Taven Bryan.
Peace out.
I have a rule.
It's like being the second fattest skinny guy. Or
I have
second
two.
skinniest
I have
fat
a
guy.
second rule. Does everybody remember my first rule?
If they look slower than me, they can't be on my team. What's your second rule?
Second rule is I don't want a white guy on my defensive line unless he's great. I can't have a run-of-the-mill white guy. I don't believe in run-of-the-mill white guys on my. I'm kidding. No, he stinks. I don't want him.
You almost was for real though. Like I wouldn't be mad at that. Like, what's the dude from Williams is the last good one I seen play for
White guy?
Buffalo.
Well, J.J. Watt.
And Jay,
Wait a second. Bengals have two good white guys.
No. These are these tackles.
Kyle
the
Williams.
tackles.
Kyle Williams is the last one. I mean, you don't.
What's his name? Who with the Ravens back when they? What's his name? The guy Tony Siragusa.
Nagata.
Siragusa.
Tony
Siragusa.
Siragusa.
Goose.
Haloti Nana is he's
not white.
He's Polynesian.
Yeah.
So no, Taven Bryan. I'm sorry.
I mean, we've decided we're anti-white defensive tackles. We're kidding. But
We
not
like
really.
tweeners. J.J.
No,
Watt and maybe long. I like the.
I'm out. I'm out.
All right. Yeah, no Taven.
I'm out.
Real quick before we go to the next one.
Yeah.
Are you more opposed to a white defensive tackle or a white cornerback?
White cornerback.
That's the great white whale.
Was Dustin the last white quarterback in the NFL?
Jason Sehorn.
It was Jason Sehorn and then
Sehorn
Dustin.
was legit. He was good.
And who else? Adam Archuleta.
Wasn't he a safety?
He was
No?
safety.
He's a safety.
Archuleta was
That's
safety.
watch. You could get it. Like it's easier to get a white safety
Was
than
Dustin
a
a
DB.
cornerback or a safety?
Corner.
He was a corner.
He was a corner in college for sure. Did he stay corner in the NFL too?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's like the white whale in the NFL though. I don't think there's a single white cornerback, not a safety, a legit cornerback.
I mean, safety is hard to find now. You know.
No. But
Kyle Hamilton.
some of that
Minnesota.
is
Harrison.
just like
Oh, he's
back
black.
No.
He's mixed.
Who?
Harrison is mixed.
Oh.
On
But
the
some
Vikings?
of it is just like back in the day when black players were discouraged from playing quarterback back in the day. I think there's something to that these days with white players not being encouraged to play in the secondary.
I don't buy it.
You just got to be really, really.
You got to be good. If you're
You
good,
got to
you
be
can
really
play.
fast. Tight end, yeah. Offensive line.
I mean, Christian
definitely.
McCaffrey. Are there any other white running backs besides McCaffrey
No.
It was Peyton Hillis.
Danny Woodhead,
currently?
Rex Burkhead,
Yeah.
Oh, Rex Burkhead.
All the ones ended.
Yeah, I mean they're white. Okay.
Kyle Juszczyk.
He's a full.
Juice.
Don't bring the Jews into it. Leave me alone.
I'm Jewish.
I know, I'm kidding. Man, we are dancing the line of uncomfortable topics. Juszczyk's a fullback.
Fullbacks and tight
Fullbacks
ends,
are
they
usually
dominate.
white.
Fullbacks, tight ends, they dominate. In another position, there's not very many black centers either.
The number one center in the draft class this year at Michigan is
Interesting.
Not very many black centers.
Who is the Steelers center? Just retired.
Pouncey.
Pouncey.
Yeah.
you got Rodney Houston, excuse me, was really good on
I
Oakland.
think it's Hudson. I think you're right.
Hudson.
Yeah. All right.
I
enough
mean,
of the
give us white
racial
people something. At least let us be linemen, man. We ain't got nothing else.
You own the teams. We pay everybody, right? You on the government, the teams ain't working out well for you guys. We got a couple corners.
We got to root for the right guards, man. That's all we got.
G, well played. Next up,
Hunt.
Kareem Hunt. Keep or cut.
I'm done with Kareem Hunt.
Yeah, hold on. Let me get my face out. Sorry, big dog. You're going to get some money, but not no money over here.
I heard a lot of screaming on this set about give Kareem Hunt the ball more. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying.
Hey, listen, there was times Kareem should have been getting that rock, but not this offseason.
Will Kareem Hunt, let me ask you this question about Kareem Hunt. Will Kareem Hunt be, now we know Kareem, there's very few of these guys, so we know Kareem Hunt's not going to be a bell cow number one. Will Kareem Hunt be a 1A in a mix, a 1B in the mix, or a backup for his next team?
I don't think he's going to be no starter.
I think he's a backup.
I think he'll be
full backup, or like a backup like he was for
No, I
Chubb,
would say-
or a 1B 55-45 or 60-40 split.
He could be a 60-40 guy.
Yeah.
He could be that. But he's more the 35-40 than the 55-60.
I think so too.
Yeah, I think he'll be a second back.
And I thought he'd be a starter before last year.
I thought he'd
be a starter somewhere else in 24, and now I don't.
Yeah, I just think if he had more left, the Browns would have found ways to use him more.
Bo was calling him a top 10 back heading
that?
into last season. You called him a top 10 back heading into last season.
He had, we didn't. I thought when we saw him the first couple of years here, he still had that explosion, and I didn't see it this year at all. I thought that was gone. We'll see. Maybe he's a starter again. Maybe he's rejuvenated. I don't know, but.
All right, we're going to keep rolling. We got two more on this. Chase Winovich.
Oh, man, come on, man.
You know.
Who?
Get up out of here.
That guy was a waste.
We all agree.
He's
AJ
a white guy on the
Green.
defensive line. He's automatically gone.
Yeah,
he's off
he's
Bull's
out.
team.
AJ Green, who did make some plays this year.
Would you rather have right now that AJ Green
Or the retired?
the other AJ Green who retired?
I would take the retired AJ Green.
I'll take this AJ Green.
I'll keep it.
Yeah,
AJ
I'll
Green.
keep him. He's not making
As a
much.
depth corner, fourth,
Yeah.
fifth corner, I'm fine with
Yeah,
him.
you can do
Let's
worse
bring
than
him
Like,
back.
because you know, like Malcolm Jenkins, he told us a little tip, but he was like, oh, when you're a corner and you make money,
yeah.
he was like, yeah, you're going to miss 3 or 4
Yeah,
games. And then
Denzel
possibly,
does. Denzel especially.
I'm like, wow, that's crazy. You just admitted that.
I'd
but
keep him as the fourth or fifth, whatever.
yeah.
All right, moving on. Slide 3. We'll start with Ethan Pochich. Now, this one, we all want him back. But take into consideration what he'll cost. Would you pay that price to
What do
bring
you
him
think?
back?
What's your prediction on what it'll cost?
Mary Kay said between $7 and $9 million a year.
I'd pay him,
I'm going to tell you this.
even though they're spending an absurd amount on the offensive line.
I don't run across no top 5 centers and then just get rid of them because why? Why you got Nick Harris? Nick Harris has been about to be up next for 4 years. Nick Harris is up next. Yeah, you can't make it through the season.
I'm with you.
Give me Pochich. I know exactly what I'm getting. He's bigger. He's a little more physical, and he can ball out. Like give me him.
I think I was kind of poking around on Posick during the combine. I think we might be overselling his market a little bit.
I agree. I don't think.
Because for a couple things, number one, he's had a ton of injuries.
Right.
Number two, it was 1 year. And number three, it was with Callahan. It's almost like a cheat code.
Right.
Teams look at it and go, well, he was with Bill Callahan. So I don't know that I don't think he's going to get like a monster multi-year deal.
Centers don't get a ton of money anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's 7 and 9. I know, like, I've talked to Browns players who feel like that's probably the range, 7 to 9 million he's going to get. I tend to think it's going to be on the low end of that.
I know. And if you could get him for $6.5, $7 million, why wouldn't you do it?
Yeah, I think if you can,
I'm bringing him back.
on another 1 year deal, I think he almost has to do it again. He has
Yeah.
to stay healthy. He had another injury this year.
Yep.
If he stays healthy for a year, he has another great year, then maybe he can cash in. But I don't. At first, I used to be in the market that he's really going to get paid, and I came away from Indianapolis going, I don't know that he is.
I agree with Jason, so I'm keeping him because I don't think his price is going to be as high.
I'd love for him to be back, too. So, up next, we mentioned him earlier, but Michael Dunn.
I'll keep him as my swing offensive lineman.
He's a swing offensive lineman to me. I'm keeping him. And then I got Harris coming back, and I could put him in one of the guards, too.
I'm partial to. This is no secret. Like, there's a big story written about it. Michael's wife is actually the producer of our podcast at The Athletic.
Oh, really?
Marissa Morris. Yeah. And Marissa is. If
You met her here?
No, they actually were. Okay, so this is really funny. I'm going to hijack this for 20 seconds, Mikey, and I promise I'll give it back.
Yeah.
Marissa, during the COVID year, texted Zach and I wasn't at the game, and she said, I have a confession to make. This is during the Browns game against the Steelers, I think, at the end of the regular season. And we're like, it's the middle of the game. What could you possibly have? And she said, I'm dating Michael Dunn. And we're like, what? And here, she lived in Cleveland and didn't even tell us that she was in Cleveland. It's just, there's a whole story on The Athletic about it, about Michael Dunn and Marissa, her battle with breast cancer. They're now married. She's pregnant with their first child. It's an awesome story. They are phenomenal people. So for personal reasons, I have to root for Michael, and I hope he stays here. It's kind of, I don't know. He might come in. He might come in.
Well,
but
cool.
He's a great guy. She's fantastic. So I'm rooting for Michael Dunn.
Since he signed you up, we're going to give you that. We're going to give you that. Listen, but you'll come.
And his wife's, so his wife isn't from here originally?
Not from, no, they met in college. They both went to Maryland.
Got it.
But obviously they live here now, and
Right.
they're hoping to stay.
So
He's
we're
restricted.
in on him as utility offensive line.
I like it. We got 2 more on this slide. I think both will be quick.
3 more.
Jordan Kanasic.
They skipped Anthony Walker.
Oh, sorry. Anthony Walker first. He's a tough one.
I want him back.
I'm done with Anthony Walker.
I want him back.
How much?
He got mad at G because G said it's time to get better.
G's changing
And
his
you want him
tone.
back.
I didn't change no tone. I didn't say get him up out of here. I said we need to upgrade. Just because he come back don't mean he's starting.
Fair
I
enough.
don't think he's come back in a reserve role. I think he
Why
wants-
not?
Because he could start. He could start somewhere. If it ain't here, he's starting somewhere. I want him back.
And plus he's coming off an injury. I don't even know if he's going to be back 100% yet. But I will take him. I will take him back. I need one more linebacker, though.
Too injury prone. I want like a whole reset at that position.
Dang, that's a lot of people to reset.
All right.
All right, 2 more. Speaking of
What's
one
a
of those
Jordan
linebackers.
Kanasic?
Jordan Kanasic, linebacker.
Special teams guy. He's a jag. No
And
offense.
these last 2 is buy one, get one.
I don't think Jordan Kanasic is worth putting my hand up. I'm too tired.
Bogo on Kanasic
No
and
offense.
Greedy Williams. Come on now.
No
Greedy
offense, Jordan
Williams.
Kanasic.
Greedy Williams.
No, Greedy's time here. is
Greedy's
done.
garbage.
Stop.
Greedy's done.
Greedy was not
make sure I
even
got the right
greedy.
one.
Greedy was very generous.
I can't really tell the difference in my happy and mad. They're kind of the same.
Yeah.
It's that whole resting bitch face thing.
And last slide. We got 5 more names before we talk about some
Okay.
potential targets in free agent. How about Taki, G? You going to bring back the whole linebacking core?
Man, I ain't bringing back the whole linebacker. That was a shot taken at me and my character.
Bye-bye, Sione.
Hey, by the way, I'm going to put
Nice
you on
guy. Another
special
nice
teams,
guy.
though. Special
That's the happy
teams.
face. baby.
I like Taki.
I like Taki.
I'm bringing him
Sorry.
back. I'm bringing him back.
Done.
He showed me something last year when they moved him in the middle.
Overhaul.
I'm going to take him back.
You can't overhaul everything. You got to overhaul the defensive line. Now you need a safety.
Right. See,
I
I got
want all new starters in the front 7 except for Myles Garrett.
You know how many people that
7
is?
new starters.
That's
Seven
six.
new, 6 new
G.
starters. 6 new starters. 6 new
And a
starters.
safety? 7.
That's 7.
That's 7, yeah.
That's crazy.
7, including safety, yeah.
All right.
Next up, Dearness Johnson.
Time to go, Dearness. Oh, wrong one. Dearness, time to go.
Yeah.
No,
yeah.
I want him back.
For real?
Yeah, as the third back. Why not? I'd take him over Demetric Felton
Why?
because he's better than Demetric Felton.
You don't have to.
I think they're gonna. I think they go get a cheap veteran
I think they're going.
who's like a good pass
Dearness
blocker.
Johnson is cheap.
You know who's going
Is
to
he a good
actually?
pass blocker though.
He's good. He's got good hands.
You know who's
Catching
going
passes.
to actually make the team this year? Kelly. Kelly for the last 2 years.
Oh yeah.
He's a running back with a
training.
40s.
Oh,
stop.
Running back with a 40s number. He will make the squad this year. Dearness Johnson. We're going to give you all of your reps and your 401k to my man.
I want
Jerome
Dearness
Ford.
back as a special teams guy and a third back, depth back.
How about Ronnie Harrison? Safety.
No,
Come on.
he's no
His
good.
course has been
Come on.
completed.
Come on.
No.
Jesse James?
The
I
shooter?
forgot
Tight
Jesse
end?
James was even on the team last year.
Yeah, I thought you meant the bank robber.
I thought
How
that
many catches did Jesse James have?
He had 1 target.
No.
But he
stop.
was listed officially on the Browns roster.
What do I need him for?
Yeah,
Come on.
And
No.
last but not least, Stephen Weatherly.
you made that up.
Don't know who he is.
You made
I
him up.
had to show Earl that he really was on the Spotrac free agent
Let's see if
roster.
we can guess what position he played. I'm gonna say.
I covered every single game, and I don't know who Steve
Well, you didn't know that. There was another guy earlier we didn't know either. Not Kanasic.
Guess the position.
I'm gonna say offensive line.
Incorrect.
defensive line.
Correct.
Oh, look at you. There was another defensive lineman we didn't know.
Get that
before.
guy up out of here.
Bring back Stephen Weatherly. I love Stephen Weatherly.
Make America great
that
again with
F he
Stephen
is,
Weatherly.
So what we came to the conclusion of is G. Bush wants to sign 4 linebackers in free agency and bring back the entire linebacker core. and start the
won
Browns defense in
17
Jim Schwartz
linebackers.
era with 8 linebackers on the roster. Gee, I actually endorse your idea.
I mean, somebody gonna weed each other out. I'm sorry, I cannot go in with Taki getting hurt and Phillips hurt, and then we get these Jews off the street. No.
She thinks this is like 1976. There's 8 weeks of training camp, 6 preseason games.
It's like in baseball when they go all relievers. G's going all linebackers.
Yeah.
All backers.
It's like the Tampa Bay Rays.
I gotta do
So
something.
what do you guys think about the report that Mary Kay put out last night? Our good friend Mary Kay Cabot of Cleveland.com, that on the Browns wish list.
Yeah.
We'll focus on 2 today, or 2 Eagles who we haven't mentioned yet. It sounds like everyone on the Eagles is rumored to be interested in rejoining Jim Schwartz. Javon Hargrave and Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Listen, anybody that played any kind of legitimate snaps on the Eagles is worthy of talking about. So Mary Kay has reported a lot of different players that the Browns are interested in. Of course, they're going to be interested in a lot of different players, especially guys on the defensive line. But guys, I would say anybody that played at all for Philadelphia is worth looking at because obviously they're pretty good.
I like Javon Hargrave.
He'd be a great addition. But
Yeah, if I have to pick between the 2, I'm taking Hargrave.
Man, I don't see.
Defensive line's far more premium of a position.
Yeah, give me Hargrave, and plus I don't like all these hyphen names. You got married once. One person's name was on the birth certificate, dog. I'm not hyphenating none of that, man. Give me Hargraves. I like him. He's a much more of a every down type player. The Browns keep trying to get back into this mode where they want to look at corners. Yeah, you ever go to the grocery store, right? And you get to the and you need a plethora of things, and every time you go, you just keep getting the same old steaks. You're like, bro. Your wife's like, but we have steaks in the freezer. But I'm just saying, honey. These are great cut, and these are on sale.
Yeah.
I can get these. She's like, no, you don't got no chicken, you have no poultry, you have none of this stuff. And then you keep going to get these steaks. Why do the Browns love corners. They love DBs. They good at drafting DBs. They got 96 DBs. All the DBs don't even want to play the DB positions.
Yeah.
And they still interested in them. I know you are. It's great.
Yeah, we don't need it. Yeah, that's a good point.
He's a hybrid nickel safety corner. He plays all the secondary. He's not strictly a cornerback.
I mean,
we have A.J. Green.
the Browns have 3 starting corners.
Right.
Unless they're going to trade one.
I don't want to invest a ton of money in free agency in the secondary. I said that the other day, especially at safety. I'm not on the Jessie Bates $14 million trade.
Me either.
I think
There's far more pressing needs.
I think they got to add a safety, but like you add a $4 million safety, not a $15 million.
You can find a safety in the draft.
Yeah. Usually.
3rd round, you can find a safety.
Yeah, the Browns need to spend their money on wide receiver, the biggest money on wide receiver and D-line, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
And then linebacker before you spend anything on in the secondary.
Yeah, so give me Hargrave.
All in agreement.
Let me ask you this way: Bates for 14, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson for 6. Are you taking the cheaper option, or at that point do you think Bates is worth spending the extra money?
Neither.
I'm not even sure how good Chauncey, whatever Gardner is, to be honest. I'm just assuming because he's played for Philadelphia, he's decent, but I don't know.
He's a good player.
I'm not an authority on him. I wasn't following him closely. But the Browns spending $14 million on a safety doesn't make sense.
It just really kind of don't.
You got a $12 million safety you just cut and moved on from.
Yeah, and Bates is better than Johnson, but Johnson was overpaid based on his production. So, Bates is good, and it's a big upgrade if you sign him. I get it. I just don't think I don't think they're going to do it. So I'd be stunned if the Browns, again, invest that kind of money at safety.
In a safety?
I just don't think it makes any sense.
It tells you exactly what you need to know when you look at the production as a safety. The Browns had the 2 top tacklers were Delpit and Johnson.
Right.
And we would find times that they didn't even want to tackle nobody. So what does that mean about
that's a bad sign
that's
for
a
team.
huge
When your safeties are your leading tacklers.
That's terrible.
That's a bad defense.
That's horrible. So, I'm not really interested in doing that. Go give me one of these. Go give me a linebacker and some D tackles and an edge rusher.
Look at that. 2 safeties by far were your leading tacklers by a wide margin.
Now, the linebackers did miss some games, but...
and the corners in the top 5. 2 safeties in the corner are your top tacklers.
Yeah.
It's not a good look. They're the only team in the league, by the way. We went through this maybe 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
That had that orientation of top tacklers.
What were the tackles per game? Because
I don't know off the top of my head. Give me a
Taki and JOK did miss games. I wonder if they would be 1 and 2 if we did tackles per game.
Hold on. Let's see if I can sort that out real quick.
That's another problem. Your linebackers is always out. JOK is always injured.
And Anthony Walker's been injured a lot. So
Injuries are also part of the game. Like
Yes,
everybody
they are.
gets hurt.
Right.
Everybody gets hurt.
I'm still hurt.
That's
Today.
true.
So we just did the quick math.
Yeah.
Taki had 71 tackles in 12 games, which
Yeah.
came out to just under 6 tackles a game.
Yeah.
You multiply that by 17, gives you 101 tackles, which Steve pulled up 77 again, real quick.
So he would have
101
been
tackles,
third,
I
but it
think
would have been
rank
close.
tied for second. So essentially in that same.
I'm tied for second. So.
But they're not on a path to significantly out tackle.
No,
anyone
and
else.
you don't know that he would have kept up that
pace. Right,
anyway.
right.
So who knows? But
Man, that's bad. That's horrible. Oh my God.
yeah, it's not good. It's
Yeah.
not good.
Yeah.